Welcome to this screencast on developing a portfolio. So this is where you can select any of the pieces of data that you've entered across all the various sections of PO and pop them into a portfolio. It will either be a PDF file or an RTF file that you can send to people and share with them, or you can print out if you would like to have a paper copy. So you can find this section at Manage My Portfolios, and when you open it up for the first time you'll just have a Create button. But as you can see here, this is the second page, so I have a whole other page of portfolios that I've created for different purposes. What we find is that nurses say they use their professional information much more actively than ever before, because they're not rumbling around in a drawer looking for a piece of paper. They can come in here and find it quite easily, select it and send it off for things like job interviews or competence reviews or contract work is in my case what I do quite a lot of. So what I'm going to do is now show you how this works, and like the other tables, it has an edit button where you can open up the file and change it, and it has a delete button if it gets a bit out of date. Once you've configured the portfolio, it sits here as a PDF file and as an RTF file, depending on what format people want. Most people are comfortable with PDF. And you also have the option here, which is an additional piece, where you can send it to people to have a look at. So you can send people an email link with a password to take a look at your portfolio that you've developed that you want them to look at on the PO site. Then 6 months later you didn't get that job and you're thinking to yourself, should I still have that there? You can manage it so you can remove people's access as well. So it might be that you don't give anybody access, so it's just something you print off and take with you. But those options, online sharing options, are there if you require them. So I'm just going to quickly talk you through the development of a small portfolio, and this is going to be one that is for supervision. So this is where I've been asked by an organisation to supervise a member of their staff, and they'd just like a little bit more information about me. So I'm going to pull some things out of PO to provide to them. So first options that I get are around table of contents and a cover page. So I don't want a cover page because it's just a very short piece of information I'm going to give them. But if I did, I could tick this and have a cover page and have the option of either just writing some text, calling it Lois's professional e-portfolio, or whatever I want to call it. I could write it here, or I could also upload an image. So quite often people like to have a distinctive and creative front cover, and so the way that we manage that in PO is that you can upload a scan of a cover that you've made. So it might be photographs, or it might be places of significance to you. There might be symbols or artwork that you'd like to include as your front cover, and that allows for that. You can just add it on, which can be a really nice touch. So we're not going with any kind of cover page today. We're just going to provide some information for these people. So I'm going to give them my mihi, my personal information that's got all my contact details and important things that they will need, a professional profile, academic, work history, referees. Give them a little bit of personal context. They don't really need my publications, professional memberships, training courses. They don't need anything about my development hours. This supervision is my own supervision, so nothing else on this list that they need. So what I'll do now that I've ticked those areas is I'll hit add, and you'll see that they've moved to the right. So all of the ones that I ticked are now here on the right, and they're ready to go into the file that I'm going to provide. I've also just had a thought that they might like something out of my scanned files. There's a couple of certificates in there that I might want to add in. So I can add from my files by clicking that button and finding a couple of things from here. So I think we might add in this one as relevant, and I can select the file, and there it is, added in to the end here. So I think I've got everything that I want in here now. I've just decided they didn't actually ask for referees, so I think that I'll take referees out. So I can click that and pop remove, and referees goes back over into the group of information that I'm not going to use. So now when I come up here and click the save button, all of these pieces will go into a PDF e-portfolio. And that will be on my second page, and there it is, Supervision Professional Information. So I have the option of editing that, of deleting it, but I have it sitting here as a PDF file, and RTF is another option. And my next thing is I can configure this for remote access. So if I want to invite someone to come in and take a look at it, here it is. And so I pop a password on it, which I will give to that person, and save. And so now it's passworded file, and I can send it to somebody if I want to. So I can pop an email address in there and invite them to have a look, and they will get that that file, access to that file. As I said, in a couple of weeks' time I decide they don't need it any longer, I can manage that by going into the managed files, and it will give me a list of all the people I've invited to have a look, and it will give me some options for deleting them or letting them stay there, or whatever seems like the best idea at the time. So that's the functionality of the portfolio builder, and as you can see it's quite flexible and relatively easy to use.